Good morning. I'm Bahar Garian, and these are your 10 a.m. news headlines. White smoke is pouring out of the Sistine Chapel chimney, signaling that a pope has been elected to lead the Catholic Church. Our producer Cohen Sassaman has more on the story. Victoria, British Columbia's agricultural ministry is urging ranchers and farmers to register the location of their livestock ahead of wildfire season. The ministry says registering with premise ID will bring security to the farm animals and their livestock. That would allow emergency responders to act quickly during events such as evacuations or disease outbreaks. The ministry assures that the premise ID is mandatory in BC, but is both free and confidential. The BC Wildfire Service is reporting that more than 40 active wildfires burning across BC, most of which are located in the northeast region of the province. It says 81% of the fires are human caused and 7 of the fires are burning out of control as of Thursday morning. Broad Cove wildfires have forced evacuations and destroyed about a dozen homes in a clutch of rural communities in eastern Newfoundland, along the western shore on Conception Bay. Police have closed the highway into the area, and officials have set up a few emergency centers for people who can get back to their homes because of the flames. Resident Jerry Rogers says it felt cruel to watch the flames approach while surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean. Several Ontario mayors are calling on the province to ban financial incentives that municipalities used to lure in doctors. They say the recruitment tactics is harming smaller rural and northern communities. North Perth Mayor Todd Kassenberg says while his town is facing a severe shortage of family doctors, recruiting them using financial incentive isn't a proper solution. A health ministry spokesperson said the government has made big investments to connect more Ontarians with doctors, but didn't directly respond to a question on whether it would consider banning municipalities' financial incentives. The Trump administration has announced its first trade deal since imposing a new round of worldwide tariffs. U.S. President Donald Trump says the UK has approved an agreement that would lower the tariff rate on British auto exports and eliminate it for steel and aluminum. He also says the deal includes getting rid of custom duties in the UK. The terms of the deal have yet to be completed, so it can be signed. On the contrary to the US and UK disputes, the band who has decided to take a tour to the US, which will be called The Song Is Over, as their North American goodbye tour, The Who. The group confirmed that they would perform hits that dated back 6 decades in their career. The weather today feels like 10 degrees.
everything is changing to digital. Everything is online. People aren't just waiting for the 6 o'clock news anymore. People want their news right now. They want to be able to go onto their smartphone, onto the internet, and see the news that they want to see.
Vancouver is growing at, a really rapid rate, the Lower Mainland even, and with the tools that we're given here, we're able to cover all of that.
Welcome to BCIT Magazine. I'm Radhika Sikakane.
In the program, they really leave it up to you. I mean, the help is there when you need it, figuring out how to use the programs like Premiere, Audition, and figuring out how to use the cameras. But it's up to you to sort of experiment and figure out what you can do when you go out in the field.
They brought candles and flowers to remember the student who lost her life yesterday.
Theresa May says the international community condemns Moscow.
They really make sure that you know the basics and you are able to put out a quality product.
I'm Brady Tretnero.
And I'm Radhika Sikakane. Thank you for tuning in to BCIT Magazine.
Good morning. I'm Graciela Cruz Flores at BCIT's The Crow, and this is your sports news at 10:10.
Starting off local, in baseball, two stars are shining and improving the Blue Jays farm team in Vancouver. Shortstop Arjun Nimala and right-handed pitcher Trey Yesavage could be the shift of something new. Nimala is one of the youngest players in the Northwest League, facing pitchers who are 2 to 4 years older than him. Nimala still ranks second in home runs. Yesavage has posted an earned run average of 2.31 with 36 strikeouts over 24 innings. The Blue Jays have done well in the past with producing big talent, and improving the farm team system could be a catapult to public rankings. Moving on to hockey. The Vancouver Giants made 2 selections in the first round of the 2025 WHL prospects draft last night. The Giants are taking forward Louis Oscar Hollowaychuk and defenseman Crosby Matejchuk. Hollowaychuk is considered a massive goal scorer, named the SSHL Under-15 Prep MVP after scoring 50 goals in 34 games this past season. Matejchuk is a left shot with 32 goals and 71 points in 31 games in the Under-15 AAA League. Matejchuk is also the younger brother of Columbus Blue Jackets defenseman Denton Matejchuk. The 2025 WHL prospect draft continues to take place online today. Results will be available at VancouverGiants.com. The Abbotsford Canucks finished victorious last night with a 2-1 win against the Coachella Valley Firebirds. Notable performances from Arturs Shilovs, who made key saves throughout the night. The Canucks lead the series 2-1 with 1 game away from advancing to the next round. Game 4 is Friday at the Abbotsford Event Center. On to the NHL playoffs. The Maple Leafs are looking unstoppable. While the Leafs entered the second round as underdogs, it's looking like they're having the defending champs, the Florida Panthers, on the ropes. With last night's win 4-3, the Leafs have a 2-1 series lead heading to Florida. And being back on home ice, the Panthers will not surrender their crown so easily. The Panthers have only lost by 1 less goal in these first 2 games in round 2, and now fans will have to wait to see how Game 3 fares at the Amerant Bank Arena on Friday. The Dallas Stars' Mikko Rantanen had an insane night last night. With hat-tricks that powered through the Stars over the Winnipeg Jets in Game 1. Rantanen talked about how he continues to feel comfortable with the Dallas Stars since his trade, and last night just proved it. With the 3-2 win over the Jets, the Stars have put forth and a clear heavy weight over the Jets' shoulders, and the Jets, with home ice advantage, have Game 2 on Friday to head to Dallas with hopes of a tied series. The Edmonton Oilers' Game 2 against the Las Vegas Golden Knights will be tonight at 6:30. The Oilers lead the Golden Knights 1-0 with a 4-2 win on Monday, and the Oilers are looking to continue that lead tonight in Vegas to head home with a healthy lead. Moving on to the PWHL, the Toronto Scepters playoff opener with the Minnesota Frost was last night as well. The Scepters rookie Julia Gosling scored twice in her playoff debut, helping Toronto take Game 1 with 3-2 win against the Frost. Game 2 is this Friday with the best of 5 semifinal series. And moving on to U.S. women's basketball, a 5-time Olympic gold medalist Sue Bird was just named the first ever managing director of the USA Basketball Women's National Team. Bird said in an interview she feels like being a part of presenting the U.S. and a gold medal organization felt like a natural next step for her. Bird spent the better part of 2 decades with the national team, won 11 international medals, making her the most decorated athlete in FIBA history. And in Spain, after a disappointing loss in the UEFA Champions League against the Inter Milan, FC Barcelona is facing yet another crucial match against rivals Real Madrid this weekend, trying to add an extra 3 points.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow.
Everything is changing to digital. Everything is online. People aren't just waiting for the 6 o'clock news anymore. People want their news right now. They want to be able to go onto their smartphone, onto the internet, and see the news that they want to see.
Vancouver is growing at a really rapid rate, the Lower Mainland even, and with the tools that we're given here, we're able to cover all of that.
Welcome to BCIT Magazine. I'm Radhika King.
In the program, they really leave it up to you. I mean, the help is there when you need it, figuring out how to use the programs like Premiere, Audition, and figuring out how to use the cameras. But it's up to you to sort of experiment and figure out what you can do when you go out in the field.
They brought candles and flowers to remember the student who lost her life yesterday.
Teresa May says the international community condemns Moscow.
They really make sure that you know the basics and you are able to put out a quality product.
I'm Brady Tretanero.
And I'm Radhika King.